Hi, Kaminga. Hi, Sibaran. Can you hear us?
Hi everyone. Good morning.
Hi, Kaminga. Morning.
Hello everyone. Good morning.
Kaminga, could you say something? We're just checking the audio.
Hello.
Yes, now it's perfect.
Check.
Thank you.
Oh, testing.
Yeah.
She joins online, right?
I think for yeah.
Avish, you're coming today. Oh, okay, cool.
So we need to enter details.
No, you can sit here.
Mr. India. Mr. India. Mr. India. Okay.
History don't get and
Since you have joined a meeting before. Last time I was Mukhyamantri. Yeah.
your chocolate is also a question, no question.
What was in the meeting?
Last meeting you like organizing something.
There was a question.
Somebody you want to ask
Yeah, I'm not able to recall the question, but yeah, there was a question which I answered. And I need to, yes, I have to collect my prize today. Rhythm. So are you getting? I tried to call you over WhatsApp. So I was, I thought some access is required to come inside. Sorry, I was waiting outside.
So guys, let's start.
Good morning, fellow pastors and guests. My name is Lakun, and I'm going to be starting the dance for today's meeting. Welcome to the 470th meeting of Eloquent Toastmasters, Gurgaon. So every Toastmasters meeting has an MRP, standing for Mission, Rules, and Passion. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Coming to the rules of our meeting, firstly, I request everyone to please turn off your phones or keep them on silent mode. I'll allow you 30 seconds to quickly do that. Secondly, as Toastmasters, we don't talk about politics, sex, or religion. It is politically matter. Please don't cross talk. Please do not cross talk. For online audience, please put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. In case you are stepping out of the meeting, please turn off your video to avoid distraction for our speakers. And finally, coming to the passion. Eloquent is fourth consecutive President's Distinguished Club. Huge salute to the blood and sweat of members and IEC who have worked tirelessly to make this happen. Now I'll hand it over to our presiding officer for today, Dikshita, to take it forward.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 4th meeting of Eloquent Toastmasters. So today I'm involved with PM Pallavi Singh. She will give us an insight about mindset, where we take full responsibility for our actions in our personal and professional lives. And before we kickstart the meeting, let's hear from our guest.
Clearly, right?
My name is Lalita, and I heard about Toastmasters from Kona when I was Google searching about what Toastmasters club to join. And currently, I'm preparing for competitive exams. Thank you so much. Let's hear from our second guest, Prince.
So hi everyone, my name is Prince. So this is the second meeting. So last time I joined virtually. So today is not the opportunity to join in person. So in terms of profession, so I'm also a community development background. Currently working as a global category manager for professional services at Academic Technology. So yeah, that's about myself. From personal front, I'm married. For the last 10 years. I educate in 4 years old.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much, Gayatri. You got it. Okay, sorry. So now let's hear from our team on Pallavi Singh. Pallavi, welcome you on the stage.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I would also like to say a very good morning to our honored guest. I hope we see you as a club member someday. It's an absolute privilege to be the Toastmaster of the day today. Today's topic is quite special. It's because it is from the book, which has a huge impact on leadership worldwide. That is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And he is a former Navy SEAL officer. So for people who don't know who Navy SEAL is, let me give a couple of lines of introduction. So Navy SEALs are special forces in US military. They are a part of Navy, but they operate on land, air, and water. And they are responsible for special operations. For example, 2011, Osama bin Laden, sorry. And there is a Battle of Ramadi, which was fought by Navy SEALs. So this book has all the learnings from his experiences from the battlefield. Before I share his lessons from Extreme Ownership, I would like to ask one question to the group. Do you believe that leaders should always take blame for if something goes wrong in their team? If so, why or why not? I'll repeat for the audience. Do you believe that leaders should always take blame if something goes wrong in their team? If so, why or why not? Who is gonna give a perspective to this question? Anybody?
I can go
ahead.
So it is not about the blame, it is about the accountability. So yeah, the leader is one of the person who is accountable and the driving force behind, something, behind an idea, behind a team, to meet the common objective. if something is not, going into the right direction or not happening right. So yeah, somebody had to take the ownership, or as a collectively as a team, we had to take the ownership to correct it or to improve it to meet the objective that was basically decided before pursuing and particular things.
Your
So-
voice is breaking in between. Is it just me or it's there like online audience?
Yes, it was breaking up.
It's breaking.
So which mic should I focus upon?
Maybe
So yeah, I can try one more time. So I was saying, so yeah, it is not about the blame game. It is about the accountability. So yeah, leadership is something which is the driving force behind any particular initiative or any particular team. So yeah, if something is not happening right, so somebody has to take the accountability, or I would say, not only the leader, the collective team the team has to take the accountability collectively to make to basically give it a back thought, like what went wrong, how we can improve it, and we can then decide upon like how to improve it, how to make things happen or improve them.
Thank you for sharing your perspective. Okay, let's say let's assume that you're a part of a team and there's something, a team member mess up a program, a delivery. And because of that, your work is also getting impacted. How will be your reaction to that? Go ahead.
I can share like two different examples here. One example is a very recent one where I was working on a project with another colleague. She had difficulty in following the instructions of our manager or engagement manager, if we call it in consulting. But if I look at it honestly, it was more of a, let's say, fault from the manager that the direction which was given to that person was not good. Now, what happened is that impacted the delivery timelines, and it kind of became a uncomfortable space for both of them to discuss that. And the manager was kind of putting the blame on the other person, and the other person vice versa. Now, if I go back to maybe 8 or 9 years when I started my professional journey, I had a really wonderful manager in my team. During one of the projects, one of our teammates messed up something, but instead of putting the blame on that person, our manager took the ownership of it. I went to him one day and I asked him that, all the other managers will probably put it on that person, so why you took everything on yourself? And then he told me a very important thing, which I still believe in and which will stick with me throughout the rest of my life. That if I let's say blame it on somebody else, it's not going to solve anything. What has been done has been done. Now you have to move forward, learn the lesson from it, and then try to not repeat that mistake. So I think a true leadership is somebody who understands that yes, people make mistakes, but it's your job as a leader, as a manager, to help them grow.
You really came very close to what it means to be extreme ownership or extreme leadership. We all know about leadership. We all know that we should take responsibility of the work. But extreme leadership, according to Jocko Willink, it talks about total, absolute, no excuse ownership. What does that mean? It means that if something goes wrong, you just show up saying that it's my responsibility. I own it. You have that attitude, because a leadership is all about that attitude. Who has a courage, who can stand with their team when things are not working. If you have a delivery to meet, if things goes properly well, it's very good. It's easy to go and present to the leadership. If things goes south, and if you're like lacking because of some other team member and you're not responsible for it, and you still show up stating that it's your responsibility, that program is your responsibility, that delivery is your responsibility, it takes a lot of courage. I know it sounds very tough. It's humbling because it goes against our common instinct to protect our ego. We are human beings. In fact, we always say that I have done it, I do it. It's always about ego. And when you talk about extreme leadership, it goes against it. But here is a catch. Extreme leadership, it builds trust. It builds teams. It builds leaders, not through power or title, but through integrity and accountability. Before I dig more into this topic, I would like to explain how Toastmaster sessions are conducted for the benefit of the guest. So any Toastmaster meeting is divided into 3 parts. First is prepared speech, where participants come prepared with 5 to 7 minutes of speech, and they are mentored and they deliver the speech at the same time. The second part is fun-filled table topic section, where anybody from the audience can participate. They can give a speech for 1 to 2 minutes by the topic given by the Toastmaster. Third, of course, is the most important part, that is a general evaluation part, where the general evaluator with their tag team come on the stage and they share the evaluation of the whole meeting. Being said that, now I would like to call on stage our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Bhavesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pallavi. A very good morning to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Bhavesh Medvani and I am going to be the general evaluator for this meeting. Now, having said that, have you all heard of this story of a famous emperor's new clothes? Come on, guys. It's a story where this huge, mighty emperor was walking down the lane without any clothes, and everyone was actually complimenting that person. Oh my God, look at the outfit of the emperor. Until and unless a child blurted out and said, he's not wearing any clothes, he's naked. And that's when he realized that he wasn't wearing any piece of garment on his body. Not that I am going to be like that child, but will be like that child. In this meeting, I will be pointing out the good, bad, ugly aspects of the meeting with a very constructive approach, which of course, me being a human resource manager had been taught at my organization, and that is the approach of STAR method. I'm sure that you all must be aware of this STAR methodology, where S stands for situation, T stands for task, A stands for action, and R stands for results. Just give me a hot second. I'm so sorry. Yes, so I am going to be actually evaluating each and every one who is gonna come up on this stage and speak on this STAR methodology. And to help me and to assist me, I have this beautiful tag team, which comprises of the first person which I actually would like to call on the stage is Toastmaster Saurabh, who is going to be the timer of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Okay, good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I will do a timer and I will check your timing, your speeches, your Toastmaster, your table topics, and probabilities. So let me explain timing rules. This green card for 5 minutes for the prepared speeches, and this yellow card at 6 minutes, and this red card at 7 minutes. It means you have to stop it, and I will show you until you quit it. And for triple top topics, the time will be 1 to 2 minutes. Green card for 1 minute, and yellow card for 1 minute 30 seconds. And this red card again will show you at 2 minutes. This means you have to stop it. I will show you until you quit. For evaluators, the time duration is 2 to 3 minutes. 2 for green card, and this yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds. And again, this red card will pop up at 3 minutes. This means you have to stop it. I will show you until you quit it.
That's it. Let's see how people see it. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurabh, for comprehensively explaining us your role. Now it's time for me to invite on the physical dais the counter of the day, who is going to be the Toastmaster Aryan, and I'd love for him to introduce himself and his role.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aryan, and I'll be taking extreme leadership over the hours, lights, and universe that might slip into today's features. Think of me as a food critic for your words. Now, imagine a dish with the perfect seasoning and texture that you'd like to eat to your heart's content right now. So, just like that dish, just like you wouldn't want to overfill that dish with extreme seasoning, we also don't want to fill the speeches with crosswords. A brief moment of pause is the secret ingredient to make your speeches crisp and easy. Instead of reaching out for unsaid lines, when you think, take a moment to pause. Just the right amount of time will make your speeches delicious and will impact your words. I'll be sharing my report at the end of the meeting, and just before I go, remember, when in doubt, take a pause. Silence, if used correctly, can be the perfect season for a clear and delicious speech. Thank you.
I think it reinstates something which I hugely admire, that silence speaks louder than words, right? Good. Now moving on to last but not the least role player of my tag team, and who is going to be the premier of the day, and we dearly call her the mother of the ETC, Toastmaster Dakshita. Over to you.
Hi everyone, today I'll be playing the role of a grammarian. So as a grammarian, as you know that how a language, if incorrect use of language is used in any sentence, how it impacts the overall seriousness of any situation. Yesterday I was in a meeting and they were I was in a meeting and they were like director, senior managers, and everybody was there in the meeting. And suddenly one of the attendees said that, can you throw some sentences? You know, here the person could have used, can you just pitch in? Or do you have anything to add on? So you can see how it actually diminishes the seriousness of the situation. And as a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day, which is predominant. It means having superior strength, influence, or authority. For example, the predominant colors of the slides are black, blue, and red. And the idiom of the day is get out of hand, which means uncontrolled. And I would encourage everybody to use a thumbs up whenever the word of the day and the idiom of the day is used. And I shall share my report once I will call upon the stage. Thanks. Let me get out of the hand.
Get out of the hand. Yeah, I request that we just put the word of the day and the idiom of the day in the WhatsApp, as well as in Google Chat if it's actually feasible. Thank you so much for explaining your role. Let's begin the meeting. And before I actually walk off the stage, just I think a word of caution. I would be actually analyzing each and every speaker and would be sending the star report to each and every speaker after the meeting as well. And if you would love to know about your feedback more comprehensively, do not hesitate to reach out to me. And with that, I would like to hand over the virtual dais back to Pallavi to actually further the meeting. Back to you, Pallavi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Well explained the role of general evaluator and the tag team. Moving on to the book, Extreme Ownership. I will start with my first lesson from the book. That is, there is no bad teams, only bad leaders. There is no bad teams, only bad leaders. It means that leader must know like what they are responsible for, take accountability, even if there is a failure, miscommunication, or any outcome. Jocko Willink explained in the book that he did a little bit of experiment while training a next set of Navy SEALs. What he did, there was 3 boat crew. I'll name it A, B, C. So he was doing a drill where you have to put that boat into your head. It's actually very heavy, a boat which you have to pick, and every team is like 5 players, 5 plus leader, 6. So you have to put that boat into your head and bring it and run for like a good 1 kilometer in the water and take it out. That was the task. And whoever does it first wins. He saw that out of A, B, and C, A kept on winning. Like he did the drill for 5 times and A kept on winning. B was like coming second and C was coming last all the time. And he could see the attitude, the tension between the team's member. He saw that A is working as a team. They're supporting each other. Whereas T, they're blaming each other for the mistake, for letting somebody down, for not doing a proper coordination so that they can run together. What he did for the 6th round, he changed the team leaders. So there was a team A, which was winning, team B, which was doing okay, team C, which was losing all the time. Team A was little sad because, of course, he was going to get changed into something which is not winning. Like, of course, his team was winning. He has trained, he has coached his team members. He has to do the whole work again. Team C, the leader of Team C was very happy because he's going to the team which was winning. Now there's a twist. So now there's a new leader. Team C is Team A's leader, Team B and Team C. He did the experiment again. He asked them to, take that boat crew and come to the water. It was a very heavy boat. They have to coordinate. That requires a lot of coordination to, lift that up on your head and then run together. He saw in the 6th attempt, Team C came first. Everybody was shocked. Everybody assumed it's just a trial. It just happened out of flake. They did it again. Again, Team C came first. And that time, Team A, who was earlier Team C, was taught a lesson that it's not about the bad team, that you're not supposed to blame your team. You're supposed to take the extreme ownership about your team members, and coach them well. So he explained that there is no bad team, only bad leaders. Which brings me to the second lesson. Believe in the mission. When I say believe in the mission, even if it is just small delivery, as a manager, as a leader in your organization, if you don't believe in what you're doing, how will you convince your team members that this is important? So before you convince them, before you ask them and reach out to them to do something, you're supposed to believe in the mission yourself, strong enough so that you can answer their questions. Now it's time to move to our first session. The first section is prepared speech. And we have 2 speeches today. For the speaker 1, Toastmaster Simran, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Vishaka. Toastmaster Simran will be speaking on the path presentational mastery, purpose, introduction to vocal variety and body language, Project 3, Level 1. Toastmaster Vishaka, could you please set the expectation from Toastmaster Simran?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pallavi. My target speaker today is Toastmaster Simran, who, as Pallavi mentioned, is pursuing presentation mastery pathway. Today, she'll be delivering her Level 1, Project 3 speech, which is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. As her evaluator, I'll be observing not just how she uses her voice
gestures and eye contact, but also her overall, the structure of the speech, the overall structure of the speech, and how effectively she concludes. Timer, please note that the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. And back to you, Toastmaster Pallavi, to introduce the title.
Thank you. Toastmaster Simran, the friendship algorithm. The friendship algorithm, Toastmaster Simran.
Am I audible and visible? Okay. Eureka! I discovered the perfect algorithm. No, not the Instagram one that decides why you see 50 dog videos before bed, but something just as revolutionary. Ladies and gentlemen, I found the friendship algorithm. Now, before you start imagining me in a lab coat with equations flying in background, hold on. This discovery happened when I was just 6 years old, with 2 pigtails and a Dora backpack. Back in first grade, I was, let's say, socially underrated. My bench, always empty. My lunchbox, always full. So I started thinking, maybe I was expecting too much. All I wanted was a little attention, a little care, and a friend who didn't see me just as the background character in the school story. Then, plot twist. My grandpa came to the rescue. One day, he brought me a mountain of snacks and chocolates. And what did I do? Like any generous 6-year-old, I took them to school. And voila, I became the Beyonce of my class, the snack queen. Suddenly, kids knew my name. They sat beside me, talked to me. One even said, "Hey Simran, you have great handwriting." Me? I was shocked. And just like that, the friendship algorithm was born. Snacks is equal to friends. Simple math. So I started bringing snacks every day, distributing them like a one-woman NGO. But as every coder knows, even the best algorithm can crash. Then one fine day, it happened. I was walking down the stairs, just like any other normal day, probably thinking which snack to give away first. And suddenly, I missed a step. I tripped and fell down the stairs, like full on slow motion, dramatic background music in my head, expecting a helping hand. But you know what happened? Nothing. Not a single soul came. I was lying there, bruised, confused, and suddenly very aware that the friendship built on chips and chocolates wasn't friendship at all. It was customer loyalty. And that day, I ran out of stock. At first, I laughed it off. I mean, 6-year-old me still thought maybe I just needed better snacks next time. But slowly, a tiny voice inside me started asking bigger questions. Was friendship really supposed to be earned like this? Was I just a snack dealer, or was I actually someone's friend? Turns out, the real algorithm wasn't about what I was giving to others. It was something much deeper. And that's when the true discovery happened. Someone said, and I quote, "Real connections aren't built on what you bring to the table, but who you are at the table." Today, I don't carry extra chocolates in my bag. I carry stories, I carry dreams, I carry the kind of laughter that doesn't need any reason. And the friends I have now, they are the kind who hype me over the smallest wins, like finding matching socks or finishing a Netflix series without crying. The kind who send me memes instead of paragraphs, but somehow still make you feel heard. The kind who stay, snack, or no snack, chaos or calm, 3 a.m. breakdowns or random happy dances. And honestly, that's way better than being the snack queen any day. Now I know it may sound funny coming from a 19-year-old still figuring out data structures and how to fold a fitted bed sheets. But life lessons, they don't wait for wrinkles or gray hair. They show up in school staircases, in empty benches. And I realized that we don't need any algorithm. We just need authenticity and the courage to be ourselves. Because the right people, the real ones, the ones worth the journey, they will find you, snack or no snack. So, yes, Eureka, I found the perfect algorithm. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. Now let's take a minute and give Simran feedback.
Yeah. In this one.
15 more seconds. Thank you everyone for sharing the feedback for Simran. Now it's time to move to our second speech of the day. I would like to call on the second speech is by Toastmaster Vibhanshu, and I would like to call on stage his evaluator, Toastmaster Kramika. Toastmaster Vibhanshu will be giving a speech on the pathway engaging humor. Purpose is write a speech with purpose, project 2, level 1. Toastmaster Kramika, could you please come on stage and set the expectation for Toastmaster Vibhanshu?
Thank you, Toastmaster Pallavi. So Toastmaster Vibhanshu giving his level 1 project 2 speech. His pathway is engaging humor and purpose is writing his speech on purpose. So all the best, Toastmaster Vibhanshu. Back to you, PMOD Pallavi.
Toastmaster Vibhanshu, please come on stage. Toastmaster Vibhanshu, from solo zone to rafting zone. From solo zone to rafting zone, Toastmaster Vibhanshu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pallavi. So how many you have ever thought of like your life is running like a circle? You're doing a job, maybe studying, going back to home, spending time with family, daily hobbies, daily rituals, some other tasks, your to-do list. And after some time, maybe in a month, or maybe after some years, you're feeling like it's like a circle. I'm doing the same thing again and again. Nothing special is happening. If I talk about me, from last few years, I was just working and working and working. Office, work, attending Saturdays on Toastmasters, doing some other tasks like others. And with that, I started noticing that my life is not having get new experiences. So I started asking questions to myself, what can I do that can give me new experiences? And also, I wanted to go out from my comfort zone. And with that thought, I decided that I should do something wild. First, I thought that I should propose my girlfriend. So I should propose my crush. But then I thought that I should wait. It can turn into disaster. I should wait. And with that thought, I decided that I should go on a trip. I called to one of my friends, Abhishek. I said, bro. He said, yes. I said, I'm thinking that we should plan a trip. He was already excited. He said, let's plan it. He started sending me reels of Kashmir, of Manali and other places. And he was thinking like, we are going to Paris and just going to Paris by elephant. I was thinking about that. Should I really need this person? Because I wanted to go in an uncomfortable zone. I wanted to develop few things inside of me. So later on, I started doing self-analysis, like what should I do? And with that thought, I found that I should try a solo trip, which I tried once and it was great. But this is my second solo trip. So I thought I should go in a place which should be full of nature. And I decided that I will go to Rishikesh. I just booked everything, the place where I will stay, everything, the bus and all. And next day, I went to Rishikesh for 3 days of trip. I had no plan where I will go, where I will travel, and what I will do. I even don't know how to drive. So the next thing happened when I reached Rishikesh, I realized that I had to have a scooty. Because like if you are going to connect places, it's not easy to get vehicles easily there. Later on, I thought that I have to take help from other people, and the place where I stayed, I noticed one guy was having coffee in cafe, and I went to him. I just shake the hand. I said, "Are you new here?" He said, "Yeah, I'm a traveler. I'm traveling solo." Yeah, mission done. He will help me. So I talked to him. He was from Nagpur. I said, bro, I said, actually, I also came as a solo, but now I'm trying to talk to people because I'm a very shy person in terms of being social. So he said, if you want, you can join me. I said, that's great because that's what I'm looking for. Because I came here as a solo, but I don't want to explore everything like a solo. So with that thought, I made him my friend just in 5 to 10 minutes. And he said the next day we are going on rafting. Would you like to come? Now I was thinking, should I go? Because to be honest, I fear a lot from water. And when he said this, I said, wait a second. And then I decided, yes, I will go. Because I came here, I went on that place just because I wanted to go out from the comfort zone. So I said, yeah, it's good. Now the next day, when I went on the place, when we started rafting, the raft was moving in the water. Everything was going great, and the captain said, "Jump into the water." Now this is scary. When he said like this, I started thinking like, I might be sinking. I thought, man, I might be sinking. He said, you have safety jacket. Why are you worrying about? Just jump it. Other people are also doing the same. And I jumped it. And the water was too cold, extremely cold, I can say. And the moment I jumped, it was full of fear. But after that, I lost my fear and I was just enjoying and all. So it changed my mindset. When I reached Rishikesh, I was unknown. I was not familiar about places and all. I talked with so many people. This helped me to understand like how to talk to strangers, how to take help from other people when we are going to unknown places. So if I talk about this trip has changed me a lot, not just because I jumped into the water, it's because I jumped into unknown. And if I talk about the greatest raft is not about in the water, it's inside of us. So the moment we jump into that raft, we start growing and we start shining. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vivanshu. let's take a minute to give Vivanshu feedback. Seconds more. Oh. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our first section, prepared speech. Before I share more lessons from the book, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, I would like to ask that who works in a group setting in their respective jobs? Like I do, at least. I could see a lot of hand raised. Okay. So some of you must be leading a team. Some of you must be a part of the team. Have you experienced a scenario where you have to do a cover up for somebody? Like, for example, to support a team member or a team player, you have to do their job. Does it happen with you?
Yes.
Somebody can share the experience, how it felt, and why did you do that? Because obviously you also have your family life. You also want work-life balance. Why did you do that? What was going in your head?
That actually, they also return the favor and they have also become your quick problem.
Sorry, your voice was shaking.
Yeah.
That, so that we can actually ask for the return of favor when we are actually out of office, so that they can also cover for us.
Okay.
I can share one experience maybe. Yeah. It happened with me last year on the Valentine's Day. I work for a company which is predominantly based in the US. So typically we get requests quite late in the evening. The request was meant for one of my team members. I wasn't aware about that request that he was supposed to work on something. At 7:30 p.m., he gave me a call and he mentioned that, Mayank, I received this request from one of our US counterparts and I need to work on it. So I was like, okay, it will take maximum 1 hour. Just go ahead and do it. And he was like, no, I'm going out for a dinner with my wife. It's Valentine's Day. So what should I do? So I was like, okay, let me speak with the US counterpart if they can wait for the next day. I spoke with him and he said that, no, I need the deliverable today itself. I had no choice but to take the things in my control. I let him go on a dinner date with his wife and I handled the deliverable. Somehow it took quite longer than we initially expected. It was meant to be a 1 hour job, but it took like almost 3-4 hours. And I was working till 11 p.m. And the guy on the other side in the US, he asked me that, Mayank, what's your plan for Valentine's Day? I was like, come on, there is a time zone difference. The Valentine's Day is already over here. So he was like, oh man, sorry, I screwed up your Valentine's Day. I was like, thanks for realizing. But that's the experience I remember.
Thank you, Meg, for sharing that. Such a wonderful example of teamwork. But what was your thought process when you said yes to it? Because obviously you also might have a girlfriend or a wife. So why did you choose to do somebody else's job on a Valentine Day? What was in your head?
Initially, I thought I was not disappointed initially because I thought that I could handle in 1 hour and then rest of the evening is with me. The place where I got little disappointed because it took way longer than I initially expected. And at like 10 p.m., my wife was staring at me like anything. So I was like, I'm helpless now. I have to finish what I started. So there is no other option now.
Okay. So yeah. So you did it to help somebody.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. And somebody also shared one example so that they can they can have one favor and they can ask for that favor later on, I mean. So, okay, we have different intention to help a team member. Sometimes we want them to support us in our time of need. Sometimes we are just being a good person, just being there for them. The intention could be different, but supporting each other is something which Jacko Willink encourage. He says that it's not about your personal mission, it's about your company's mission, and then you work together as a team. You work together, support each other, and prioritize the mission over your personal comfort. I think Mayank did the same thing. He prioritized the work over his personal life. Generally, it's not recommended all the time, but sometimes when there's a need, when there's a fire burning, of course, you go and take care of it. That brings me to the next lesson, that is check the ego. How does this sound in the workplace? How does it, like when he shared this lesson, check the ego, how does it make you feel, like ego and workplace? Do you feel there is a connection? Anybody?
Controversial.
Yes.
Can somebody share that what they feel, how they're connected, ego and workplace? Because we're getting paid for what we do. So we just do it and deliver it and then come back home. How ego and your work is related?
I mean, I think in the workplace, you're working with multiple stakeholders, multiple people. Right? You're part of the team, you're working with your team members, you're also working with other teams. And there are bound to be different opinions, so to say. You might have one particular idea of making a problem statement, but let's say another person has a different idea. And at times, those ideas can clash. So instead of maybe just taking the other person on the merits and the idea on the merits, people have a tendency, sometimes all of us have a tendency to maybe take it personally. And that's where ego comes in.
Agree. It happens all the time at workplace. And Jacko shared the same kind of example in his book, Extreme Ownership. He said that there was an example during the mission of Ramadi. It's a battlefield. Like any wrong decision can cost anybody's life. It is thankfully we don't work in that critical situation where our wrong decision costs somebody's life. We might delay something, we might lose money, but we don't lose life because of our wrong decision. But him being into a battlefield, into a mission of Ramadi, what happened that one of the SEAL members got newly employed. And there was a whole Jawan force which he was leading. They were trained, they had experience of battle, experience of Ramadi, how things work there, how the geography is, and they know about the patterns, about the attacks and everything. But the leader who was newly deployed, rather than listening to them and learning from their experience, he just started giving orders. He let his ego dominate over the mission. The mission was to fight that battle and come home safe. At that time, Jacko, who is also a writer of Extreme Ownership, saw that, took that control, explained him that it's not your lack of experience, it's your lack of understanding the situation, that you're letting your ego fog your decision making. Because if a mission gets failed, it will cost people's life. He helped him explain where he was doing wrong. He took the ownership there. and definitely the mission was fought. So this is ego clash is a very common thing which we experience at the workplace. It happens day to day. So that is when you should know that what you are doing and why you are doing. So why takes the precedence. If you know that why you're doing it, automatically you take a step back and you can analyze the whole situation. Now it's time to move on to our second round table topic. And I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Mayank to conduct the table topic round. Toastmaster
Thank
Mayank,
you.
stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pallavi. Hello, everyone. My name is Mayank Lakhani. I just wanted to confirm I am properly audible to everyone.
Yes.
All right, thank you. When I was deciding the topics for today's meeting or when I was finalizing the theme for today's meeting, I came across a very beautiful concept called paradox of life. I'm not sure if anyone has delved deeper into this concept, but we'll do today. Paradox of life. What is paradox of life? The answer is paradox is kind of a self-contradictory statement, but it holds truth and sometimes a deeper truth as well. Let me explain you with the help of an example. The more you try to forget something, the more you remember it. So this is the example. The more you try to forget something, the more you remember it. On the face of it, it seems to be contradictory, but it has a deeper meaning. And what is that deeper meaning? If I ask you, let's not think about Apple anymore, what you will do? You will think only Apple, right? So it has a deeper meaning. What I did for today's table topic discussion, I picked up few paradox of life, like this statement, which I just explained to you. There are 7 or 8, I would say 8 or 9 statements that I have for this meeting. I'll call upon you on this stage and I'll give you one statement. What you need to do, I give you a few suggestions. Either you can try to link to your real life example, what you have experienced and what you want to share or related to that topic. Or just in case you are not able to link to the real life experience, you can generally explain it, what you feel about it. So I hope you guys are ready. Who wants to go first? I have simple as well as deeper topics. Who wants to go first? I'm very good in putting the people on the spot.
Yeah, man, I can go.
Okay.
You, Professor.
Hi, Ashish. Good to see you. I didn't know that you were in audience.
Yes.
Okay, let me find the most complex topic for you.
Oh. Can I go back?
Okay. Toastmaster Ashish, the topic for you is the only way to truly control something is to let it go. The only way to truly control something is to let it go.
Hello, friends. I am a chartered accountant, like Mayank. And in my last 21 years, guess my designation? In our company, the designation of finance professional is given as controllers. Yes. All what we are asked to do is to control. Yeah, and I can tell you, I have gained expertise like 21 years in Nestle, trying to control everything, right? But am I good at it? Haven't hard controller and me, how can you control things? We call it factory controller or a sales controller or a business controller. And all at time what we're trying to do is control things. But how much things are under my control? Well, that's another paradox, like what Mayank said. In life, we are trying to control, and at work, all the time I'm trying to control things. And I'll give you one example. What happened? We have a lot of wastages going around, and of course, the decision-making authority lies somewhere else. It's not with the controllers; it's with the business head or the unit head. But controllers are supposed to do what? Control the money, make sure that the money is invested at the right place.
And we have that notion of feeling of control. That, okay, we seems to be trying, and a perception around is that, yeah, you go to a finance guy, ask for a budget, and they'll say, I know, no, that's how the perception has got built. But I think this whole thing, in my last 21 years, I have kind of learned to travel the journey from a controller to a co-pilot. Honestly, you can never control. We can't control ourselves. Imagine I try to control and don't think of an apple, and all what you're doing is thinking of an apple. And here designations are made of controllers. So one short experience of last 21 years, you can never control anything in life, not even yourself, not even others. All what you can do is to do sincere action from your side and hope and pray that it lands well. I hope none of you are in control.
Wow, Ashish. I don't think anyone else could have explained it in a better way. Thank you so much for that, to give it a very beautiful perspective to this statement. All right. Who's next? Vishal, is that you? Hand raising hand? Okay, go ahead.
Give me a easy topic, man.
Okay. Easy one for you, Toastmaster Vishal. The topic is, you have to spend money to make money. You have to spend money to make money.
All right. I can see that since you are chartered accountant, all the topics are about money. Yeah, a very interesting topic, Mayank. I think this statement is very true. If you would have asked this statement to me when I was, let's say, 10 years old, I would have told you that it's totally crap. It does not make sense. I mean, how can I spend money and how can I make more money by spending the money? At that age, our entire belief used to be that you accumulate money and that's how you are going to compound that money. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to have that piggy bank, not a fancy one, but the one which is built by clay. And when in class 11, I decided to buy a bicycle with a very heavy heart. I did not have money back then. So I just broke, my piggy bank to get the money. So that is what I used to feel when I was a kid. Now, coming back to where I am right now, I think the power of compounding, people are very smart these days. Even if you ask a 18-year-old or 20-year-old, they would know that to make more money, you have to spend more money. So I think if you invest in the right places, you invest in stock market, you invest in ETF, you invest in mutual funds, you are going to get more money. But the key part is you have to be very sincere and very intelligent with all these decisions. So I think the entire perception has changed for me from what I used to think when I was a kid to what I think right now. Thank you. Back to you, Mike.
Wow. Very beautifully described, Toastmaster Vishal. Thank you for that. Who wants to go next? Sorry, I can see one person raising the hand. I think Yatin, is that you?
But I think that Bhavesh also said, so I can go on.
Mine is me. You're simply
Okay. Okay. Sorry, there is a power cut. I hope you can still see me.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Bhavesh, the topic for you. The only constant in life is change. The only constant in life is change. Toastmaster Bhavesh.
Let's think for a moment. This is a ironical statement. This is a paradoxical statement. The only constant in life is change. I'm humbled with this opinion. And I'll tell you a very interesting story why. Recently, my company, it actually decided to lay off 2,000 employees. One of my very, very dear friends, she got laid off. very close friends. She's actually kind of my surrogate family in the city. And I was just mentioning this to her that our entire life is surrounded by our work. Our work takes the center, and our belongings, our schedules, our logistics, each and everything is just revolving around our work and center. And one fine day, your organization just decides to just take it away like this. And you're just wondering whether I should be going back to my hometown, whether I should be staying here for a couple of months, whether I should be like searching for a new job. What should I do? This fleeting energy is change. Since the time we have actually come into this room as well, our moods are changing, our energies are changing. The way we are communicating on the stage is changing. The first time I actually came on this stage this morning, I was a bit nervous. Now you can see the confidence exuding out of my body language. This fleeting energy, this transient energy is the only constant, which is change. Back to you, Adrian.
Wow. Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh. All three speakers thus far have set the stage on fire. Just to add here, the guest can also participate in this table topic discussion. So who wants to go next? Yeah, please. Okay, the topic for you is the more choices you have, the harder it is to decide. The more choices you have, the harder it is to decide.
So yeah, this is very true because focus is the thing to get the things executed. So if you have more choices, you have more options to decide upon, then your focus gets diluted. So that is why I think it is true to say that the more options you have, the more the chances that it is very difficult to decide upon. So yeah, that is the point. That is from my side.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your perspective. When I added this topic to the list, trust me, the very first thing came to my mind is Swiggy and Zomato. Earlier, we used to have only 5-6 options and we were okay. Now we have a long list. It takes 30 minutes to decide what to order. Okay. Who wants to come next?
Yatin.
Yeah, Yatin, please. Yatin, the trendiest question for you. The more connected we are online, the more isolated we feel offline. The more connected we are online, the more isolated we feel offline.
Interesting paradoxical statement that is. And I do agree with the topic. I think, so when I look back at my, let's say, parents' generations, at my grandfather's generations, I feel that, looking back, they had much stronger connection, so to say, with family members, with relatives, with their friends. There was no, let's say about my grandfather, there was not even TV at that point. There was no Instagram, no Facebook. And we, as human beings, we are social animals. We do need that connection, whether physical, whether digital. And given that there was no digital, nothing digital then, there was no option but to build real meaningful bonds with people around you. I still see, my grandfather had 9 siblings, and the connection that exists between them today, still today, is something amazing, which I've not experienced today in my generation. Today, we have access to all kinds of apps, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. And all of us are very active there, me, myself included. But I think, making use of these apps is kind of taking us away from our own families, from spending time with our own friends. Instead of actually making a plan and meeting our relatives or our friends, we would just probably have, let's say, a conversation on Instagram, just chat on WhatsApp, and not actually go out there and meet people. Uh, while I think technology is great, it helps us stay connected with people very far away from us, right? Let's say relatives in the US. But if we are using it for as like an alternative to actually meeting people, I think that's not working out in the long term. It's not helping us build those real bonds that we as human beings need with people. So yeah, that's about it from my end. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yatin. Very nicely you explained this topic. In this era of information revolution, when we are flooded with information all around, what is increasing is anxiety. And people are paying so much visits to psychiatrists and psychologists. That is what it is happening in today's world, which never used to happen 40 years back or 50 years back. Okay, who wants to come next?
Yes, Balvita.
Yeah, please. Okay, so the easy one for you. Can failure be the path to success? Can failure be the path to success according to you?
Yeah, the statement is true according to me. Failure tells us, failure makes us educate, like how can we change our things, like we are going to some other direction that is not good for us. So by failing from, okay, by failing, we get to study, we get to learn some new things that we are not, that we have not inculcated in our life from, okay. Yeah, that's so much.
Sure. Thank you so much. Good attempt. Anyone else who wants to go next?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Vishal, you're saying one more guest?
Toastmaster.
Okay, Toastmaster. All right. The topic for you. The more you try to impress people, the less impressed they often are. The more you try to impress people, the less impressed they often are.
Yeah, so this statement, this paradox is so true in life that if you look around, you will realize that it is happening everywhere. You go to a person, be it a friend, be it something, and he is sitting on a status much higher than you. So when you go there, you will realize, all your body language will change. Everything you will do it very consciously. You will eat consciously. You speak consciously. You walk consciously. And what it basically does is it basically gives artificial you in front of the other person, and the real relationships or real impression comes when you get natural, and that natural behavior can only come when you are comfortable, when you try to be yourself, and when you act in that way. And that is the best way when you impress people, by being on your foot rather than acting artificially. Yeah, so this statement is very true. Yeah, thank you.
Very nicely explained. Thank you. Anyone from online audience? I know Simran has spoken. Pallavi's TMOD. Kraminka, last week we put you on the spot. This time you are not turning on the video. Can I put you on the spot, Kraminka, if you are there? Okay. So the second time we'll put you on the spot, Kraminka. Are you ready? I have an easy topic. Don't worry. You're on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So Kraminka, the topic for you is we value things when we lose them. We value things when we lose them.
Okay, so thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank, for giving me this topic. So indeed, until and unless we do not lose something or we do not value the things, we are not able to recognize how valuable the things for us. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
That's okay. Take your time. You can take a pause, rethink, and answer.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem, Kavinka. Thank you. Okay, anyone else from the offline audience? I still have 3-4 more topics to go, and we still have time. Dikshita. Okay. Dikshita, the topic for you is the quieter you become, the more you hear. The quieter you become, the more you hear.
With this mind, the quieter we become, the more we hear, because this is a very personal story, and this is a very personal story. So basically, 10 years back, I was in a relationship, and I was quite happy and quite satisfied with all the days like a normal girl would want. Okay. And over the period, I realized it's not the kind of person I would like to continue. And initially, it was not making sense because whatever he said, I thought that, it has a deeper meaning to it. If the person is telling you something like he'll be there at like 6 o'clock and he's there at 6:30, and he'll come up with a story saying that he has some work or he got caught up with traffic or something. Initially, it made sense, but gradually it realized it's not making sense. Okay, because if I think when I sat down, I took some time, I realized all these became actually excuses, nothing else. So I totally agree. At times you have to be quiet and you have to listen to your own voice. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Thanks for sharing that, Dikshita. Who is next now?
Vivanshu.
Yeah, Vivanshu. Okay, Vivanshu, you called me Toastmaster Yatin last time, so now is the time to take revenge. Okay, Toastmaster Vivanshu, the topic for you is the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. The more you learn, the more you realize how little you know.
Few years ago, I started reading a lot of books and I started listening podcasts. Before that, I used to think that I need to know more to understand life. And if today somebody is asking me, I advise people don't go in a lot of deep if you are going in philosophy, religion, and all, because it can make life complicated. Because the more you know, the more challenges you will face. You will understand the reality of the world, understand about the people. So you will think, sometimes you will think about other people's. And this can create more challenges because I have seen people who know less. They don't even care about what people are thinking. They just live their life. So they are living their life more comfortably as comparing to the people who know a lot. Because people who know a lot of things, they judge everything, they analyze everything, what is right, what is wrong. And when you know a lot, you will always keep on craving for getting more knowledge. This is not going to be end anyway. Because if you see the life, there are two kinds of people I notice. The people who are learning a lot, it is important to be learned, but not going in that way that you just become a library and nothing else. Yeah. So I believe if you are trying to be a library, you can keep on learning. I used to be, I tried few years ago when I read a lot of books I have. But now I'm not craving for that knowledge. And yeah, still I feel that I need to learn. Still I feel distracted from other books. And when I see people, they are giving speeches on this topic. So I still feel that I know less. But now I also feel that it is not important to know a lot of things. Okay.
Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivanshu. I have one last topic left, and that's an easy one. Who wants to go? Is that you said Vishaka?
Aryan.
Aryan, okay.
Vishaka is saying.
Okay, Aryan, the last topic for you, and certainly the easy one.
Yeah.
The more you chase happiness, the harder it is to find. The more you chase happiness, the harder it is to find.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster man. The more you chase happiness, the harder it is to find. Yeah, I do agree with that statement, but what is the happiness that we are chasing? It is all a matter about that. Are we chasing some higher goals of life, or money, or family, or bonds? But during the chase of happiness, we forget about the path that we are taking. We start living in the future and not think about the how we will reach there. The daily tasks, the daily things that people do. Will we achieve our happiness? Maybe not. But isn't that what we chase is about? It's not about finding the real happiness. Who knows who has found it? But just the journey to reach that happiness. Maybe that is what we should be looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aryan. Thank you to all the table topic speakers for sharing their valuable perspective on these topics. This brings us to the end of the table topic session, and I hand back the stage to Toastmaster Pallavi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. That concludes our second round table topic, and it was so much engaging. Now it's time to learn a few more lessons from Jacob Willink from the book Extreme Ownership. The next lesson is prioritize and execute, which we know that if we have like 10,000 things to do, how will you prioritize what is important? Anybody what methods you use? Any framework which you practice day to day to prioritize things for you, for yourself, for your team members, for your household? What do you do? Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Just pull that laptop towards me. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Unmute yourself.
Okay, you can mute that one. Because maybe I found the button.
Yeah. So, okay, the framework that I wanted to mention, which I'm sure a lot of us use, is the urgent and important framework. I use that in practically everything, work, personal life, where you think about the most urgent and most important things to do first, and to try to delegate something that is not urgent but important, and so on and so forth. So that's the framework I use, both in personal and professional life.
Anybody else? I could see a couple of more hands raised. Yeah, please go ahead.
So in my life, if I have to prioritize my work and my personal life, so I make sure my personal life is prioritized. The first thing I do, I make a list for my DD. She has to cook what I want for the entire day. Okay. Then second, I make sure I call my team member, tell him this is the work he has to complete by the end of the day. And he has to let me know, at least by 12 noon, so that I can help him out. And third, then I prioritize my work, what is important in terms of meetings.
Okay, thank you, Dikshita. Anybody else? I could see a couple of more hands raised. Please share your perspective. Yep.
So I think you must have heard of the rule 80-20 rule for everyone has this. So if you basically work on the top 20, I think top 20% of the things, cover 80% of the, impact. So that's the rule I follow as a procurement professional. It is very important because we have a lot of things to do, but you have to prioritize them. So I always basically try to do, I try to control the things which has, maximum impact. If I'm able to control 20% of the things which has the maximum impact, rest of the things will be, getting settled automatically.
Agree.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So Jacob says that as a leader, you're not supposed to get paralyzed in terms in face of like 10,000 things, especially in a battlefield where you have to make decisions instantly and very fast. You have to prioritize what is important, what will not get your men killed. Same way, of course, that's a life or death situation. We are in a better situation where we don't have to deal with that. We still have a lot of time to think, reevaluate, and then decide. So few things which we can do is, so you can also create a to-do list. Like if you have like today, if you have 10 things to do, you can just create a to-do of 10 things and see what is more important. Let's say if you just complete the 70% of the to-do list, what 7 things you want to achieve, and if they spill over to the next day can cause you a damage. So you can create a to-do list. You can, of course, seek help by delegation. For example, let's say you don't have a cook, but your day is packed. It's filled with a lot of things. And you don't have a time for cooking. And cooking is also there in your to-do list. And you know that there are like multiple other things which needs priority, your attention. So you can just hire a cook for that day so that at least your couple of hours gets free for that day. And in those 2 hours, you can execute other tasks. Same way at the workplace, what you can do as a leader, as a manager, or as a team player, you know that you're working on P0 and there are a couple of more P0 issues which needs to be taken care of. You can ask your manager to delegate to somebody, or you can ask your team members to help you with that so that those work doesn't overwhelm you. You can prioritize those work over other things, and then you can execute as a team. Moving to the next lesson, that is decentralized command. I know that we all work, most of us work in IT where there's a director, there's a manager, then there's a skip level manager, and there's a whole team. There's a whole hierarchy. You have to where the reporting happens from top to down, where the work gets shuffled from top to down. So when you hear about decentralized command, what comes to your mind? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is decentralized command? Everybody knows, like your ownership. What is decentralized command? What comes in your mind when you hear this word?
Blockchain.
Come again?
He said blockchain. I think it's about, maybe I'm wrong, but it's about empowering our team members. That's what I feel.
Yes, it's exactly that.
It's about giving autonomy to every person to make a decision rather than one person calling the shots.
Exactly. So as a leader yourself, you don't just delegate the work, you delegate the responsibility and ownership. So you create more leaders. So if something goes wrong with you and you're not able to show up, they are well trained and coached to take your place and execute without compromising the mission. So that is also one of the lessons which Jacob shared, that it's your responsibility to be a leader who execute extreme ownership, but at the same time, you're also responsible to create more leaders. And by creating more leaders, you will help the whole team and the mission. So he just shared like one of the example in the Battle of Ramadi. Ramadi is in Iraq, and that war was happened for multiple years. He said that in the war, there are like multiple commands which is deployed in different places. And they have to be in so sync in terms of communication, in terms of movement, sharing the movement and everything, that even if they don't get one command, it could cause a huge damage. He shared that he encouraged team members to inform each other about their movement, inform each other about their decisions, but at the same time, he empowered them that when there's an emergency, how you can operate and take decision on your own, thinking about the larger mission, about your own people. So that's something which Jacob explained very well in the book. He stated that though you're supposed to work in a team setting, but you're also supposed to take responsibility of your work. And when the time comes where you have to make decision, do that without hesitation. Now it's time to move to our third section, general evaluation section. And I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Bhavesh on stage.
There is one wire in front of the screen. Can we just put that aside? I can see Vishal in two parts. Okay. Now I can see Vishal fully. Go on, Bhavesh.
Thanks for calling that out. Great. I'm back as your general evaluator. Without any further ado, I would like to call on the physical dais Toastmaster Vishala, if you're actually ready, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Sunil.
Yes. Okay. The video is on. Toastmaster Simran, that was a fantastic speech. You spoke about a topic extremely close to my heart, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure everyone else did too. You grabbed our attention right in the beginning with humor, and that's the first thing I want to highlight in your speech. Humor, I think, is one of the most effective and difficult ways to engage an audience. And you did it beautifully. It was sprinkled throughout the speech, from the Instagram algorithm thing you said in the beginning, to the image of you in a lab coat, and the Beyonce of my class moment with that hair flick. I think these really made your speech lively and memorable, and like kudos to you for adding this element in your speech. You did it very, very well. The second thing that you did well was the structure of the speech. There was a very clear introduction. The middle portion was also well developed, and a very meaningful conclusion. Like I mentioned, you began with humor, then you also added an emotional angle where you spoke about how you longed for friendship, then you introduced your grandfather and how he helped you, and of course also spoke about how you fell down the stairs and what was the lesson that you learned from that incident. I think the structure was very, very strong. While the conclusion, I feel, could have been tightened slightly, it was a little repetitive, but I think you took your time with it, which helped really reinforce and cement the message. And my takeaway from your speech was that real connections aren't about what you bring to the table, but who you are at the table. And I think that was a very, very beautiful message. Love that about your speech. Third thing I want to highlight is the purpose of the project, which was vocal variety and body language. Specifically, the elements I want to highlight are clarity and comfort. I think your voice always carries really well, projects well. Your words are very easy to follow. You appeared very confident and composed. There were no distracting movements that you did, so that was very, very good. You're always smiling, which adds a lot of warmth to your speeches. So great job. Just two small suggestions I have for you. I feel the speech was very great. So two suggestions that I feel can make your speech even stronger. One is voice modulation. When you describe the moment that you fell and no one came to help, you did hold back your smile, but I feel like it could have been like you could have seemed a little more solemn, you could have shown a little more sadness and disappointment. That touch of emotion could have, added more depth, is what I feel. And the second one is purposeful movement. I think even in an online setting, it would be great if you could step back a little, use the stage a little more. I think you did that slightly once in a conversation. I'm forgetting who the conversation was with, but you tried to do that. But I think more of that could really take your speech to the next level. Overall, a very well prepared, impactful speech, and you have a very strong presence and connect naturally with the audience. And looking forward to your next speech. Kudos to you.
Quickly now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Kaminka on the virtual dais for the evaluation of Toastmaster Vivanshu's speech. The stage is all yours, Kaminka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavesh. So, what a wonderful speech you delivered, Toastmaster Vibhanshu. Your speech was well structured, having proper introduction, body, and conclusion. You grabbed the attention of the audience by asking the question, and you beautifully shared your transition, like how you pushed yourself to come out from your comfort zone, and like by meeting people, traveling solo, and indeed, like solo travel teach us a lot. It actually open all our senses of the mind. So I truly believe on that. And the best part of your speech, you were very confident throughout your speech. You had a great eye contact and like vocal variety, and you had a great hand gestures. Everything was up to the mark. You brought humor as well on the stage, like how you dare to propose your crush. So like humor is very difficult thing, but you did it very well. So there is a very small area to improve. Like you could have been used stage more properly. Like throughout your speech, you were just moving on one direction, front and back. So like you could have been used stage more properly. So that's a very small suggestion to improve. So overall, you have achieved the objective of the speech, and yeah, you are very confident speaker. But with the like little work on your stage utilization, voice modulation, your speech can be become more powerful. So thank you, Toastmaster Vibhanshu. I'm looking forward to your next speeches. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kaminka, for your comprehensive evaluation. Now, moving on to the reports of our tag team, I would like to call on the physical dais as timer Toastmaster Sopara for him to be able to give his report.
Thank you. Back again with my detailed report. What a wonderful speech, and especially table topics. The topics are amazing, Toastmasters man. Let me share my report to you. For prepared speeches, TM Simran, you took 5 minutes, 25 seconds. TM Vivanshu, you took 6 minutes, 5 seconds. For table topics, TM Ashish, you took 2 minutes, 18 seconds. To TM Vishal, you took 1 minute, 51 seconds. And TM Bhavesh, you took 1 minute, 51 seconds. Guest Prince, you took 32 seconds. TM Yatin, you took 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Guest Ravita, you took 42 seconds. TM Rhythm, you took 1 minute, 16 seconds. TM Dikshita, you took 1 minute, 8 seconds. TM Vivanshu, you took 1 minute, 55 seconds. Team Toastmaster Aryan, you took 1 minute, 7 seconds. For evaluators, TM Vishaka, you took 3 minutes, 22 seconds. And Toastmasters Kaminka, you took 1 minute, 46 seconds. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your report, timer. Now it's time to actually call on the physical dais and counter Toastmaster.
Hi again, everyone. So moving on to the first prepared speeches part, Simran, Toastmaster Simran. No crutch words were used, but I wanted to say something that it was because I'm the food critic. I was the food critic for you today. So it was a perfect seasoning of snacks and pauses that delivered an engaging speech. So thank you. Toastmaster Vihanshu. It was a lovely rafting ride, but it seems the raft had stumbled upon 3 instances of ours and one instance of fountain. Moving on to the table topic session, Toastmaster Vishal, you used 1 instance of R. Toastmaster Guest, you used 2 instances of R. Toastmaster Yatin, you used 2 instances of R, and Toastmaster Dikshita used 4 instances of R and 1 instance of found. So yeah, that was all about my report. Thank you.
So Toastmaster Aryan. Now it's time for the grammar report from Toastmaster Dikshita.
So unfortunately, I think I didn't choose the correct, maybe a very tough word as well as CTO today. It's like nobody uses. So next time I should make sure it's easy for everybody. Okay. So now let's concentrate on the good uses of grammar or sentences like mountain of snacks, Beyonce of class, friendship algorithm, jumped into unknown, fogged under decision making, paradox of life, compound the money, fleeting energy. You became a library, sprinkled throughout the speech. And let's now concentrate on the incorrect uses. I would say you can just reframe those sentences a bit. The first was going to Paris through elephant. Just reframe the sentence like going to Paris on an elephant. Second was connect places not easy by vehicles. You can just reframe it like if you want to roam around, having a vehicle is important or mandatory. Third was came here solo. The correct would be I'm a solo traveler. Staring at me like anything. You can reframe it like staring at me like crazy. I might sink, and you can just reframe it. I might get drowned. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dikshita. Just give me a couple of seconds. Just claiming my report. You know, like what I accidentally did? Oh my God. I actually deleted the entire message of my report. So I don't have my report right now. Great. All right. I was actually writing the entire report for the entire duration of the meeting, and I don't have the report. But let me just try, because I do remember the meeting, because the meeting was vivid. And it was actually vivid because we started brilliantly. Let me just actually address one thing here. I think we started 5 minutes late. Thanks to people like myself who actually come late and show up late. So I think a bit of lesson for all of us to learn here. Thanks to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Yatin, because I think he is the guy to start the meeting. And thank you so much for actually arranging the logistics of the meeting for a smoother run. So, you handed over the stage to Toastmaster Dikshita, who is actually serving as a presiding officer in the absence of our beloved President Toastmaster Sharad. So, thank you so much for actually wearing multiple hats. The only feedback I have for you is when you are actually introducing guests and if you are asking them to come over the stage, say something after their introduction so that they also feel more welcome, belonged, and say something which they have actually quoted from their introduction so that they can also feel comfortable and not just as a part of yet another session. So I think that would be my only feedback. I'm just trying to remember whatever actually I wrote. Now coming back to TMOD, Toastmaster Pallavi. Just a very small question to you, Toastmaster Pallavi. Was it your first TMOD session, or have you actually taken?
Taken
Okay,
couple
great.
of them.
So I think what I would like to compliment you on is the fact that the theme which you chose, it actually took me back to my MBA classes. And I was just wondering that why would you choose a theme which sounds like a case study topic, but I think you were speaking from great passion. You were actually speaking from within, which I think reinstated the message of the meeting, and it actually also set the mood of the meeting. Your content was impeccable, if I may say so, because I think the quotes or the phases of the entire theme, which was actually coming from the book you read, it kind of became the energy and the mood of the meeting. So, a job well done. A couple of recommendations for you would be: first, I think as good as your content was, I think it lacked engagement, and not just in, and I'm not saying engagement in terms of audience engagement. I think it lacked engagement in terms of entertainment and humor. I think the entire session became kind of serious and in one tone. The only recommendation for you would be that how you can actually now try again merging a serious theme with a lot of engagement, entertainment, humor, and not just through audience engagement, but what cues can you actually present and project as the Toastmaster of the day to make it a more lively session. Though the content was heavy, it all made it actually made all of us think a lot. It actually brought a lot of engagement from the audience. Your questions were insightful, but just a more engaging theme, how to actually give those cues to the people would have actually taken your theme to another heights. But a job well done, and thank you so much for actually making all of us think. Now, to actually move on to the table topic master, Toastmaster Mayank. Now, he is a veteran speaker. He is a seasoned Toastmaster. We all love him. We all adore him because of his ability to think and make all of us think as well. And I know, I think, Mayank, you said in the last meeting that I actually compliment a lot, but I think it's coming from within that I genuinely loved your topics. And I have to say this because I am personally a big fan of the ironical statements, the duality of life, and of course the paradoxical statements. So a job well done. Your topics were engaging. It actually made all of us think, ponder everything. You were great as a table topic master because you were sharing customized cues with the speakers right before they were starting. You were also sharing your opinions, insights, and thoughts right after they were ending their bid. So a job well done over that. No feedback for you. You are a rock star of this club. So thank you so much. At the ground of applause. Coming to the speaker's feedback. Oh my God, I don't have the feedback, but okay. The first speaker was Toastmaster Vishal. No. Vishal. No. Table topic.
Ashish.
Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. My report is deleted. What I do remember from his topic was, I think he connected the topic's title to his designation at Nestle, which is something unimaginable. I didn't see that coming. So I think a job well done. Again, you are a veteran and you are a seasoned speaker. No feedback. We can all just learn from sheer creativity of your mind that how we can just link diametrically opposite things and come together and say a topic. So job well done again. The next speaker was Toastmaster Vishal. Again, what I do remember from your bit was that you started on a humorous tone because I think you said that the topics which Toastmaster Mayank is actually giving us is revolving around the world of finance because he himself is a chartered accountant. A job well done. You started with a value, you started with a humor, and you hooked the audience. So job well done. There was one feedback, I don't remember, I'm so sorry, message is deleted, but I think you were amazing. The next speaker was you. It was me. I set the stage on fire and I think Mr. Mayank. No feedback from me. I am amazing, brilliant. The next speaker was
Guest Prince.
Guest Prince. Yeah, I think, sir, for you, the feedback would be I know that whenever we come on the stage, and it has happened with every person in this room, that sometimes we are not able to spend that 1 minute which is actually given to us as a speaker, in especially those sections where we are called to speak in front to. The idea is that you just come on the stage, spend that 1 minute, say whatever is coming in your head, in your heart, and then just walk off the stage. I think you didn't spend the time which was given to you. You could have been more expressive, more comprehensive. So I think that is the only feedback. I think the idea is that for table topic sessions, as a speaker, we just need to come. If the topic is making sense with us, not making sense with us, we have to just express ourselves whatever is coming. And even if it's not making sense with you, with yourself, with the people, it's all right. That's how we learn. So I think that's the only feedback for you. Yatin. He is an intellect by looks, heart, and mind. What was the topic, Yatin?
Social media.
Now I actually remember the feedback I have. I think he reinstated the fact that human connections are important and the connections we have with our algorithm. That is the biggest key takeaway for me personally. Very confident, flair in his body language. He looks very comfortable. He owns the stage every single time he comes on the stage. So, a round of applause for you as well. Next was Was it your first time coming on the stage and speaking? Brilliant. I will round of applause for our A couple of compliments for you. When you actually walked on the stage, it didn't look like that it was actually your first time. You were comfortable. There were no nervous gestures. And if it actually was your first time, I think the sky is not even the limit for you as a public speaker. You will grow leaps and bounds. What was the topic again?
My topic was that
Success, failure, right? Yeah. So I think that topic, I think you were trying to share a story and you were not able to complete the story, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only feedback, again, as I shared with guest friends, that just utilize that 1 minute and 1 minute 30 seconds, whatever is coming in your head and your heart, just speak it out, utter those words. If it's not making sense with you and with the people, it's all right. You have to just speak here, make mistakes, and you will grow as a public speaker. Again, I huge round of applause for that because as a first timer table topic speaker, it's not easy. We all know that, we have all been there. So the job well done. Amazing. Next speaker, Rhythm. So firstly, I think a warm welcome to our club. You are officially Toastmasters. Your topic was again, Rhythm?
To impress someone.
Great. A key takeaway which I actually mentioned in my report was that you express yourself and the impressions will follow. You don't want to impress people for the sake of it. When you are expressing, impressions will follow. That's the key takeaway I had from your bit. So a huge round of applause for him as well. Amazing. Next speaker. Dikshita, I think, so firstly, thank you so much for being so honest and vulnerable and sharing your personal story. Again, it reinstated the fact that we all need to listen to our heart guts more than the statistics and more than the actions of what other people are actually depicting. So thank you so much for sharing that message with all of us. And thank you so much for being so kind and vulnerable on the stage. Next speaker. Vivanshu is actually doing leaps and bounds. I actually remember his first table topic And today, actually, in my eyes, he was the best. Why? Because he was actually communicating a story. He wasn't there just for the sake of it, and he wasn't just connecting the topic for the sake of it. He was actually narrating a story and communicating with his heart, which is sheer, I would say, sheer brilliance. So thank you so much for doing that, and kudos to you, Dr. Masud. I think you were the last speaker, right? Aryan, your topic was
Happiness.
No,
She was happiness.
she's
I don't remember your finger. I'm so sorry. But I think you were amazing, and yeah, I do remember. Okay, not do remember. I think couple of things which he does amazingly well is that his body language and his voice is really calm on the stage, right? It's something which we all can learn. The only feedback would be to add more flair in your body language. Maybe you can use your hand gestures, use the stage a bit to express yourself. Though you are calm, it's actually your strength, but a bit more of actually flair and how you would like to be expressed as a public speaker would actually take you to greater heights. So job well done. I give a round of applause for. Coming to the evaluation of our two evaluators, the first evaluator was Toastmaster Vishaka. Again, the CRC approach was followed. Your evaluation structure is something which we all can learn from. I had just one recommendation for you is that whenever you are providing a recommendation or if you are actually uttering that highlight of the highlights of speaker's speech, just give an example by yourself saying those lines, or just give an example of how speaker would have actually uttered or said that line differently, rather than just asking the speaker that you could have actually said this line differently. That is the only feedback I have for you. But again, amazing structure as an evaluator. The next was Toastmaster Kraminka. Toastmaster Kraminka, I think no feedback as an evaluator for you. Again, the CRC approach was followed. You are amazing as a speaker. You are also growing leaps and bounds. I think the feedback which I actually shared with Toastmaster Vishaka on how you could have depicted yourself, that how you should have stated that line. I think you were able to mark that. So I think kudos to your job well done. We don't have for Toastmaster Kraminka. Coming on the last three speaker, Toastmaster Saurabh, just one recommendation for you, brother. Whenever you are coming on the stage, I know we all feel that heaviness of energy and everything. We are actually uptight as well. Take that one moment, take a deep breath, and then start to speak, because the moment you come on the speak and is when you are starting to speak is something I think the only change you would like to adapt in yourself. But I think apart from that, your report was comprehensive, it was detailed, so job well done. Toastmaster Aryan, that's the only but everything. Again, a comprehensive report, detailed. As an counter, there is only so much you can do on stage. But I think again, you reinstated that you can add a flair of English language to make yourself look beautiful. So I think which you did that beautifully again. A round of applause. As an counter, you also have to be really, really careful in how you are giving the feedback. Where were those ahs and ums which were not mindful? So I think you did that beautifully. Last but not the least, Toastmaster Dikshita, I think your report was an improvement from your last time report. The only feedback I have for you is that whenever you are highlighting good usages of languages, also you would want to highlight the names of the speakers who you actually use the good usages of language to reinstate that confidence in the speakers. And not so good usages, in that you can also mention that why this usage could have been better. Which aspect of English is actually not making it look beautiful? So that is the only recommendation I have for you. Apart from that, you are amazing as always. And yeah, I think that's the report. In case if I missed anything, which I think I might have. Thank you so much for actually bearing with my tutti frutti report because I don't have the report with myself. And thank you so much for this vivid, exuberant meeting. Just last couple of thoughts as a whole. Every single time I step into this room, and I step into this room with a mission, and that mission is that can I go back home with a thought in my head, and can I actually work on that thought? And the thought was is something which I would like to highlight from Toastmaster Simran's speech. And she actually said this one beautiful line. It's not about what you are bringing on the table. It's about who are you on the table. That's the key takeaway for me. And that's the life lesson I'm going to live with for the rest of the week, if I may say so. So thank you so much, Osman Simran, for that beautiful lesson. And thank you so much for this exuberant meeting. Back to you.
Hi everyone, the voting link has been shared in the guest room in the staff room. And meanwhile, I'd like to invite Prince on the stage just to give you feedback like how to feel in the meeting. 22 hours, yeah, 22 hours without how many meetings.
So yeah, overall, I think I shared it last time also. The way we are, facilitating meetings is commendable. The time sensitivity, and the way we are, providing feedback to these people without making them uncomfortable, even boosting their confidence. Yeah, this takes a lot of, courage to do that. So, and yeah, I like to make an announcement too. So I would love to join this.
I get in touch with you.
Thank you. It's going to be formality.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That takes us to any so my experience was amazing and it was very engaging while you were talking, while you were giving the speeches and all. So I learned a lot today and you all are very confident. I want to be confident like you all. So I would like to begin the next session as well. Thank you so much for coming. Could we hear one line from Toastmaster Rhythm? Because you've been joining offline, online, right?
Yes.
Last 2 meetings. So how do you feel to be in offline stage?
Yeah, of course, like in person, it feels to be much more better. And for me, like first 2 sessions are also like, like very good. And this is of course like meeting everyone in person, like seeing everyone. So yeah, it's really great to be here. And yeah, looking forward to having this journey with this Toastmasters class.
Thank you so much. And welcome. Now let's see. The votings are done.
Yeah.
Everybody voted? Okay. So the best Ox role player, Saurav. Okay, sorry. The best Ox role player, Saurav, a counter Toastmaster Aryan and Dikshita. Any guesses? He says Dikshita is one, but I think to give the vote. Aryan, please come.
No, you have one.
I have one, but answer.
Both I see that one.
So
2 minutes. This time it's 2 minutes.
My
The best role player, Bhavesh Pallavi, ma'am. Guesses? Bhavesh.
I'm in the center. Yep. My
Nobody is center today.
Best prepared speeches, Simran and Vanshu.
Both of them.
Simran. No, okay, this one.
Yeah, how do you see the photo?
Now I'm confused.
No, yeah, yours is fine. Or should be the other one.
Okay, fine, I'll change it. That's okay.
Taking a picture.
Okay, fine. Best prepared speech evaluator with Vishakha and Kaminka. Vishakha. Best table topic speakers, Ashish, Bhavish, Vishal, guest Prince, Yatin, guest Ravita, Rhythm, Kaminka, Dakshata, Vipanshu, Aryan.
Happy.
Ashish.
Congratulating you for your Your story is very good.
You taught us today how to, like, as Bharat mentioned, connect two diametrically opposite things together.
Yeah.
This.
That's all for today. Thank you all for joining and making this meeting very successful. And in a couple of minutes, as usual, I'll be setting the next agenda and we can you. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Happy weekend.
Bye. Take a photo. Simran, if you can wait for a selfie. And then get started. All right, you can join. हम आपसे एक बार कहना वो भूल गए।
Dominating.
हाँ, dominating correct. Simran or Pallavi left? Can't see Pallavi.
Simran, can you take a screenshot? Okay. Can we just wait for the folks to join on Zoom? I think they are joining back.
Mayank and Pallavi will be joining back. Yes, I mean, all Pallavi as well. Yeah, EOD is required.
Yeah. Ownership.
And while we all can be standing like this forever. Extreme ownership. Not just ownership. Pallavi, you have to take extreme ownership. Communicating just now. Actually, I was just having this one because can you rejoin the Zoom link or Zoom page? And we will have to meet. That's possible. Yeah, guys, just a hot minute. She's also joining. All right, we can take one Zoom fee in the meantime. Yeah, one with Pallavi and one without Pallavi.
We're taking a screenshot.
Simran, are you taking the screenshot?
Simran, can you hear?
Toastmaster Pallavi, is she not joining?
She is joining. In the meanwhile, you can take one screenshot. One demo.
Oh, okay.
Pallavi is here.
I see
Vishal is getting
I have to do.
After this meeting, I just went straight to the kitchen.
To be the cook of the house.
Earlier, our meeting used to be 12 to 2. Meaning the lunch time.
Is it done?
Someone else, please take the screenshot. My laptop just stopped responding.
She could have told earlier.
What is it on that? The shortcut?
Vishaka, Pallavi is taking.
I'm taking. Smile. Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone. Have lunch. Enjoy weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.